This right here is a screenshot of how much I'm making per month right now from social media. So it's about 10K per week, and I'm guaranteed my MRR for February is $10,323. So the reason why I'm showing that is because I used to just do TikTok as a creator, and then I decided to branch into online business. So I'm going to show you in this video how to go from being a creator to monetizing that audience that you've built and that skill that you've acquired, because they're completely different things, and online business is how you bridge that gap. So first thing you need to understand is if you're a creator and you're able to get eyeballs on content, you can make a ton of money. This is like, common sense basically. Because brands and businesses spend a lot of their budgets on marketing, and that's what you do as well, but you just have that skill. Like, you put your time into it, brands spend money on people to do it for them. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. So if you're able to actually get a high amount of traffic, then you should also be able to drive traffic for yourself and not just for brands. Many creators from TikTok Shop are making a ton of money for brands. They're making brands millions, tens of millions of dollars, even monthly. Some brands are making 10 million a month on TikTok Shop. It's crazy. But what I want you to know is that creators are always going to get 15 to 20% of that, maybe 25 or 30 in special cases. So if you have a video and you bring in $1 million for a brand, the brand makes $1 million. You are going to make 200K or 150K based on commission if you're a creator. Now that's very rare to do, first of all. Second of all, you're just getting a piece of the pie, a very small piece. To actually get all of it or a vast majority of it and keep the highest margin you can, you need your own business. And that's where online business comes in. And so what you need to do is sell something for online business. So this is what I did. I built a UGC community. So I was making deals with Whoop, Lululemon, Kane Footwear, tons of athletic brands. I had a UGC agency. I was making really good money from content. And so I was like, okay, I have all these brands reaching out to me that want creators to work with them. I still have this. I had a guy today DM me and say, hey, Owen, I need to source hundreds of creators. What do I do? This is like a very common thing for me. So I was like, all right, I could probably sell this opportunity to people. You can get them brand deals, right? So that's what I did. I built a business, a community around getting people brand deals. It was very easy to do because, again, I'm good at getting traffic on my videos. So first thing is traffic. If you can do the traffic, you're gonna be good. But the second thing is finding that offer. And so the offer for me was UGC because, one, it's aligned with who I am and what I like to do every day. So it's what you like to do, what you're good at, what the world needs, the market that you're selling to, and then can you get paid from it? And yes, you can, obviously. And there's many ways you can get paid in business. It really comes down to your business model and how you're monetizing that audience that you've acquired, right? So with all that being said, if you're a creator and you're making the 10-20% margins on videos that you're making for brands, you're spending all your time doing that, you're really just wasting your time. Unless, of course, you need the money, which many people do, and do you want to make your first 10K a month, then sure, do that, build a skill. After that, take that content skill and launch your own business. It's going to change your brain because you're going to now have to learn all these different types of skills, but it's a much better way to do business and to live because you're going to make way more money. Now, if you look right there, I got about 3 million views in the past month, and then I had 110,000 people interacting with my content, and then I had about 1,500 people follow me, and from that, I ended up making about $60,000 in January. I also posted about 150 different pieces of content on Instagram in January. All of that is organic. My entire business, everything was coming from ads. I think I only had one or two sales that came, or all my business is coming from organic. I only had one or two sales that came from ads in January. So the third thing is content plan and volume. Because now you have this idea in your head, like, oh, you know what? There is something I could help people with. Maybe it's a fitness offer. Maybe it's a creator community. Maybe, it's running my own agency. Maybe it's, teaching people how to make CEOs funnier on social media. Whatever it is, like, you understand content, there's a niche for you. Now you need to figure out how you're actually going to do this. Like, are you going to, like, how do you manage all these people? Like, let's say you scale quickly, you sell 10 people your first month. What happens then? So this is fulfillment, and fulfillment is the most important part of your business because it's going to be hard to sell people until you have social proof. So for me, when I started my UGC community, I was like, guys, look at all these brands I'm working with right now. Like, do you want to work with brands like this? Yes or no? And do you want to get paid 4K a month from each of these brands? And yes or no? People were like, yeah, I do want that. I was like, cool. Do you know what UGC is? And they're like, not really, or I'm new. And then you explain it to them. And then you're like, like, why haven't you started this, by the way? Or you kind of put them in a position, it's a sales thing. And they're like, oh yeah, maybe it's not the right time. And you're like, all right, but you want to get this goal, right? Like you want this outcome. And they're like, yeah, I guess I do. And I'm like, okay, we'll hop on a call. Let's see if we can make it work for you. Get on a sales call, you sell them. Now what do? You have to get them to that goal, that fulfillment thing that you're talking about. So for me, I have all these brands that I work with. So I put them all, I put all these people in my WAP server, which I have a link below if you want to sign up with WAP. It's literally free. So all these people, they sign up, they go on WAP. And then from there, I just put in the brands that I'm working with and these people can apply. But prior to them just going from zero and working with brands, you have to train them. So I have 3 calls a week managing and training these creators. And then once they get the deals, like I post the deals, and once their portfolios are good, then they go and get the deals. It's that simple. And so I have a very simple automated fulfillment process that just requires me putting brands that I work with in there with an application. And then creators go and they talk to the brands and they sign the contracts. It's all automated. So that's the fulfillment part that you have to manage, because if you're just a creator, that's why you're only making less money, because there's less accountability. As soon as you go to full accountability, you're going to make way more money, but it takes more work and it's way more stressful. Most people can't do it. And that's why saturation is kind of a myth, because most people simply will never put up with the things that's required to be successful. And then once you have fulfillment and you have all these clients' results, then you go make content on that. You interview people, you do case studies, you do story posts, you do all these things, pushing out content, showing people that what you're doing is working. If you can do that, then people are going to start to trust you as a source of information for whatever it is that you're talking about. And then you can position yourself as a authority figure in that space. And once you do that, you're going to have way more inbound coming to you. And keep it going. Keep the content machine going. Then you add ads. Then you add sales teams. So you're not the one messaging people and calling people. You give 5% to your setter. You give 10% to your closer. You're at 85% margins with your sales process automated. All you have to do is content. Then you can bring on an editor, pay an editor $1,000 a month, put a content folder in there for him to edit. He can schedule posts. So all you have to do is record once or twice a month, post everything. All your content will be automated and posted throughout the month. You can automate pretty much everything if you're good at content. Like that is the most important part of business, is sales and getting eyeballs on your stuff. It's so hard for most people to do, but you can do it if you're good at content. And again, that's where I was a year ago when I started. I literally a year ago today, I was like, damn, I just lost all my brand deals, just broke up with my ex-girlfriend. I'm hated on social media because she had a big following. And I was like, what am I going to do? Like, how do because I just lost my 12 to 20K a month income. And like, that was, you know what I mean? Like, that's devastating if you lose that and you don't know anything else. Like, that's all I was doing. I was thinking, you know what? I might have to go back and get a sales job. I might have to start over again. But thankfully I didn't, and I went into content, and that's what I'm praying you guys end up doing, because it's a much better path and there's a much higher earning potential. And that's honestly like extremely important. You don't want to just be stuck in something where you don't have a good earning potential.